In the last video, I talked a bit about the standard questions that heavily tattooed people get and the topics that I would find much more conversationally interesting, but I didn't actually get around to answering any of those questions, so I thought I'd circle back and talk a bit about each one of those in whatever order I happen to remember what they were. So, the first one I think was what's the furthest I've traveled for a tattoo? So I was thinking about this, and there's a couple of different ways to look at it. I think the easiest answer is I went to Berlin for the Berlin Tattoo Convention to be tattooed by a Finnish tattooer named Matson. So that from the States to Germany, that was a pretty far distance to travel for a tattoo and a tattoo convention. In the United States, the furthest I've traveled is I went from a business trip in Cupertino, California, so flying out of San Jose, or maybe I flew out of SFO in San Francisco. I don't remember which. I think SFO. So I flew from California to New York, took a red-eye flight overnight, and got tattooed in Brooklyn at Bang Bang Soho. So I think that was definitely, the furthest I could go in the continental United States, from California to New York. And that was when I got my palms tattooed by Houston Prince, known as Castle Bosses, I think, on Instagram these days. So that was quite a lengthy trip, obviously. So yeah, I think those two are probably the best answers I have for that particular one. When it comes to motivation for why I've chosen to do the themes and the things that I've done, the kind of easiest way to answer that question is that I've surrounded myself with the art that I grew up with. Anybody who's been to my place knows that I have a lot of art, a lot of it from all over the world. My parents had great taste in art, and my grandparents as well, and so I have a lot of those items still in my house personally. And the tattooing that I chose kind of reflects that timeless artistic style, and it just kind of matches what I have around the house for the most part. And then the last one that I remember anyway from the previous video was what's the most fun that I had in a tattoo shop or getting tattooed? And this one is also pretty easy for me to answer. It's not, generally speaking, the conventions that I've been to or traveling around different parts of the world and different shops in the U.S. Conventions are usually pretty uncomfortable. You're usually getting tattooed on like a flat picnic table or something like that, and there's a lot of noise and other stuff around. But by far the most fun I've ever had in a tattoo shop was with Rodney Raines, the owner of Ace Custom Tattoo in Charlotte, North Carolina. He did my entire right side from shoulder to ankle. It's kind of one continuous piece, but it's two different scenes. And yeah, just had an absolute blast with Rodney. He's an amazing artist, really fun guy. There's always something kind of zany happening in the shop. He's got a lot of diverse musical tastes. I sat there and we would just jam out to doom metal or punk rock. And then, on other occasions, we would be belting out Lionel Richie tunes. And Rodney's the only guy I know that could go from a Sleep concert one weekend to a VIP all-access Engelbert Humperdinck concert the next. So, yeah, by far the most fun I've ever had in a tattoo shop was the times that I spent with Rodney Raines, for sure. So we definitely recommend him as a great artist, but also as just a really fun person to spend time around. And, if you got to get stabbed a bunch of times, that's what you hope for. So that's it for the questions. Have a good one.